do it. And then you say, why not? What's in sex not to do? It's nothing, really. Why did you decide that you wanted to be celibate?
Yeah, few years back, I had a few experience, and I think I just outgrew that love and lust for it that I had very strong, and with time, I felt like, what's this?
What's there?
Yeah.
What's there?
I know.
What's there?
This guy's a real deal.
These are role model. These are role model.
Seriously, I feel like it's a tough one for you to start and stop.
I don't.
You know, it's different that you are
never.
a virgin and you've never tried it. The moment you try it, there's this urge of you just want to have that feeling. It might not be that you are. No, I'm not. I'm just speaking generally, yeah.
That's right.
You might have it and you feel like, oh, it's not. I'm not doing it for the fact that I am attracted to this opposite gender. I'm just doing it for the feelings. I've met people like that are just doing it for the feelings. Like, I want to have that experience again. I want to feel that same thing. And that is where a substitute comes from. When people say they are celibate, they don't want to do the actual do, but they want to do the other do.
I will disagree with you when you say people say the urge. They always have the urge. I feel like I speak for myself and I talk from a realistic point of view about my own life. So I can only talk about myself. So when I see people saying, especially because I'm a woman, so I can only talk about my own experiences and how I feel. So when I see women saying, oh, that they can't control, I'm like, really? I didn't know that it was that uncontrollable for some people. But I feel like it's just you letting go. Or perhaps some of us that grew up when our parents were so strict, that's training is still ringing in our head. That even though we are out of the home, we still have that obligation. We feel like we are obliged to them to do certain things.
To uphold the moral standards.
Exactly.
Yes.
To uphold that moral standard. But I don't think, it's my own opinion, I don't think nobody should just not control their urge no matter how they feel. I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine, and he was saying something like, is somebody, if you're in your 30s or in your 40s and you're not sexually and you're not married, that at a point you feel like, okay, you deserve to be sexually active. And I remember a tweet by there is a lady, I won't call her name, she said she's in her 40s, she's not married, and her doctor tells her, oh, you're not married. After her normal checkup, the doctor says, oh, you need to be sexually active. I'm like, how does that in any way affect
I would say that, and see, you cannot just say people are not supposed to have that feeling because it's...
No, that's what I'm saying. You can have the feeling. Exactly. I have it as well. But
and people control themselves differently.
Okay.
We put ourselves under different obligations to control ourselves. My level of control is different from a level of control. I could say, yes, I can stay away from it. I am not going to do it, and that is my discipline. And there is this person that wants to stay away from it, but there's just something hard. It might not be that you are the problem. It might be this gender. Sorry, I'm not passing.
Is it the gender or a person in the gender?
Gender is gender.
Maybe she's surrounded by her type of people in the other gender. That gets her off her feet, and she's finding it more and more difficult.
Exactly.
To practically stay within the
because that's why I have a problem. People saying they can sleep with anybody. Is it that everything goes, or don't you have like?
Thank you.
Your criteria.
I think you brought it right out of my mouth. When the idea, just as Moyi asked the other time, what Melanie said to celibacy, and then the topic. So the whole idea of this was, come on, you get on X, particular attention and interest to X, and then you go to TikTok, and then you look around at how everything is almost sexualized.
Exactly.
And then people now come out with their expressions to say to you, one thing in this generation we should still not be ashamed of is having sex with as many partners as possible. Now, yes, ignoring the health implication of that, ignoring the possible, as a lot of people now argue, sexual, spiritual implications of that, and so on and so forth. And then I begin to ask myself, what is the idea of sex for this generation? And do they, because I know that for us at that time, and I'm not old in any ways, but I'm not a Gen Z, as we now call them. So now, but I do know that For us, it's a case of, you know what, even if I was doing it, you do it with sense. Or you understand that you have to put some restraints on it. And then you, as much as possible, try to have a very serious one partner that you're doing it with.
Yeah.
But it then becomes a case of, I can do it with anybody.
Anybody, yeah.
At any time. And we have these conversations and they go on. And then I ask myself, how about abstinence? Is it still a term in this generation?
Yeah, they teach it in school. Yeah, during civic education, they will tell you, okay, so abstain. But the
Because
impact
you have to remind us that they teach us, but what is the practicality of it? Yes.
They teach it from primary school, abstinence. And when you grow, you just want to experience it. And I'll say this generation, the problem with this generation is trying to fit it into societal acceptability or something like that. You just want to be accepted by the society. You want to do what every other person is doing. And it might not even be that you are pressured to do it. It might be what you are trying to get. You know, some, let's say teenagers want to like achieve some kind of things. I want to wear bone straight. I want to do this. I want to use this kind of phone. And the criteria for you to have those things is for you to do this one to have
get
the
to
set.
that.
And when you do it the first time, you actually got what you wanted. You want to try it again. You want to try it again. And you're like, oh, 1 or 2, start doing calculation. If I sleep with like 3 or 4 boys, I don't buy Range Rover. You know that kind of thing. And now it now becomes a norm. It's a normal thing. That's what we do. That's how we roll. And it's not eating up into our children. Into children of secondary school, because they are under that same pressure of wanting to have what they cannot get at this point.
Well, they cannot
And what they
afford it.
shouldn't even afford yet.
And
Now,
yes,
please go ahead.
The generation, this Gen X, Gen Z generation, there's this anything goes.
Yeah.
You understand? We're just so I'm.
Thank you for saying we. So go ahead.
So anything goes. You understand? Without thinking or
The impact of it and all of that.
Someone online doing it.
Nah, exactly. That's the thing. Seeing someone online. That's where the social media has had a lot of. Social media is very powerful, more powerful than we can even agree, actually, because sometimes you find yourself buying some things you don't need, but because you saw it online and it was looking so fanciful, and then a lot of people, as you're sliding across social media, a lot of people are displaying, and then you suddenly want it. That is also more than just consumerism. It enters our lifestyle, the way we think, the way we accept things. So it kind of casualizes sex. Now, if you're a prostitute, or if you're into sex for money, you do it. But when you're doing it just because, I mean,
do you think we can successfully make a case for celibacy for the generation Z?
I think now what I've come to understand is that when you're offering help to people, you be sure that they are the people who actually understand and they need help. Yeah, because a lot of times you want to help somebody, but at the end, you'll notice that at the end, your help is probably not accepted, or at that point it was accepted, and then the person later relapses.
But what if we're actually the ones that need help? What if we're the ones who need to understand that sex is like water? Let's have it.
No,
Sex is not like water.
No, even the Bible says it.
Okay.
You are supposed, this thing is sacred. You're supposed to keep it for just one person. I'm not trying to be holy here, but even psychologically, like normal, as a normal human being,
Even
animals actually stick to one partner.
They don't.
They do.
No, the thing is, we are not
They
human
head
beings.
us from the other ship to the other ship.
Sorry, we are not animals.
Yes, please.
We are human beings.
Yes,
and that
please.
is why God has given us the sense to determine what is good and what is bad. We understand all of these things. We have just practically decided to go the other way, to twist everything around. So you know what is right and what is wrong. Celibacy is something that can be achieved. We are just the one trying to create excuses around it and saying it's impossible, it's this, it's that.
So,
it is actually attainable.
While the focus of the conversation is celibacy, you know, I pulled the string off what Amarachi was saying, and it's to say, to be honest, just much as you believe what you're saying, I believe we believe what we're saying, those who may not agree with us may also believe, not may, of course, practically also believe what they're saying. E.g., and it's not the first time I've heard a doctor say to women, young women, go and be sexually active. I have a friend who's had fibroid battle for a while, and then the doctor says, oh, you're not married, go and get married. The doctor was a bit kind. He didn't say, go and be sexually active. He just said, go and be married. And then I said to my friend, it's not that you should be married. It's just that go and, get active. No.
Get married.
In medical science, we would not argue with the doctors.
Yeah.
I would believe I understand what they're saying. But the flip side of that would be to say, what if we're the ones not having enough sexual activities as is fit and normal for a normal human being? What if the Gen Z actually... I am asking, what if the Gen Z actually got it right?
No, they might get it right. They might get it right, but in the wrong way. They might get it right in the wrong way.
So what's the wrong way?
The wrong way is just at every point you want to have sex and then you just call somebody.
You have,
you have multiple sexual partners. That is actually the wrong way. Now, the right way is when you're married. Yeah, I'm a Christian and I lean towards that. Okay, being faithful to one person, to one partner. And if that is not obtainable at a point in time, you have to respect yourself and perhaps just have one person. But this thing of everybody being sexually all over the place. And it's interesting that we're talking about celibacy and not virginity.
Yeah, right, because I mean...
we have to be realistic.
Yeah, right, I know. Because, interestingly, and there are a lot of virgins, you would then realize. I met with some teenagers, excuse me please, and it surprised me to find that they still held the virtue,
which is very, very commendable.
Surprised, I said. Because I was like, interesting. So it made it easy for me to actually practically sort of advise them, because I keep my advice to myself, just as Amara was saying. You just don't want to waste it. It's okay, do you, as we now all say. Even though do you makes what, right? It is what we all see.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that there are virgins. It's interesting that there are non-virgins who are actually morally upright. It's interesting that there are a lot of good humans, even amongst the Gen Z. However, we are not saying those who are sexually active are not good humans. I'm just saying, I'm considering the possibility of, say, we talk about the benefits of being celibate.
Okay.
How does that sustainably explain to anyone who's already on a path of everywhere and anyone to bring them back on track?
I think I heard some. I think there's this saying, I can't really remember. A man who is able to control his erection or something.
It's erection.
A man who is able to control his sexual urge can actually something about can be in charge of it or something. Okay. Because how important, I feel like I've heard people say sex is a very important part of a man's life, and you've seen a lot of men go down because of this thing called sex. So I think you're the one to talk better about celibacy.
Because it's been said.
In the past few years, I felt like the benefits I've been getting is unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
Yeah. Like when you are just having sex on it, like you're just nymphomaniac type of person. You just get to wash yourself down. Why? Because you just want to have it.
Yeah.
Spend your money.
So it's sort of addiction.
Yeah, you understand. So you just waste your time on unnecessary talks that shouldn't even...
Unnecessary talks.
Because we have men like that will just talk to every woman they see and
just because
just for a possibility of
and just waste their time, you understand. So it has helped me in my time management and finance too. Yeah.
So you're a spender.
Yes, definitely you spend now.
Yes,
how do you think it would happen?
Yesterday,
how do you think it would happen?
Yesterday, a friend of mine was complaining about women and having girlfriend and spending money. I was like, I don't want to be in a relationship for now. I'm like, guy, what happened now? He said, I don't have money to spend. I said, no, you don't tell me that I don't have money to spend. He said, no, ladies have money these days. I don't have money to spend. But I'm like, not you want girlfriend. You want a girlfriend.
If you're going off topic, should somebody even need to have money before they are loved?
No, that's
that's the word that we have right now.
This may be a topic for another day. This is a big question. Yeah. Should somebody necessarily have money before they are loved? Yeah, I am married and I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
No.
Because now money would now be relative. You cannot not have money at all, but you can always find your level to this thing. There is somebody always above you on the money cadre, on whatever cadre. There is somebody always beneath you on the money cadre. So find your own, I would say, right? Somebody who has as much money as you think you can cope with, or that doesn't have enough money that you think is okay for you, but there is money in the equation of love.
There is money in the equation of love, but
it's the spice of the love.
It's very important, right? But as a lady, if you're coming into a relationship, are you coming with the mentality that somebody's coming to build you up?
That's another conversation entirely. But there is money needed in love. Absolutely.
I agree.
Thank you. But to the degree to which, so this relationship is about to upgrade my life, that's another conversation, which we can then say, what's your goal for going into a relationship? My sister, if it is your goal to be upgraded by a relationship, go for it. Go for it. I shall be rooting for you.
All right, so I wanted to speak about the women's aspect of the benefit of celibacy. I would say when you are a celibate or when you choose to abstain or probably stick to one man, you would
probably.
Let's just say no for the sake of those people that because not everybody believes what we believe. There are some people listening to us right now like, oh, because I'm not celibate, am I now a sinner or I am a terrible person? So just those people that probably see sex as something more spiritual or more sacred, and you are choosing to stay with one person, or you are a celibate, there are more benefits than the other one. Do you understand? We have the benefits of you actually compromising yourself to the sexual urge of your partner when you get married. Last week they were talking about libido, high libido or not. Only someone who is sexually active or extremely sexually active before marriage would have that issue of libido or not, because you don't even know your libido level. And you'll be able to take that of your spouse. But at the point where you already know, oh, I like it this way, I like it that way, and you're getting married to someone that probably does not know about it.
If you like it this way, that way, find somebody who likes it this way.
Exactly. Because it's going to save you all of those drama if you choose to be celibate before marriage. I think you have a contrary opinion. Let's have it.
Yeah, because I can see her eyes rolling.
No, there was something you said. I can't read. Okay, you wanted to talk about the spiritual benefits and all of that. So finish up.
Okay, yeah. For the spiritual benefits, it's going to help you stay focused spiritually.
Focused
stay
on
active.
Active.
Stay active and maybe probably prayers. Yeah, but pray to the right person. If you are celibate, you will be able to discern in the spirit that this person is your person.
Yeah.
But the moment you start reaching from here to there, having here and there, you will confuse the spirit of God. He will not be able to speak to you.
Prophetess.
Then you will eventually pick rubbish.
Prophetess Moi just spoke, and she's so concerned about you not picking rubbish off the husband or wife market. And she's saying, try celibacy. Well, we assume a number of people have had sexual activity from quite early, to be honest. And unfortunately
really
for
sad.
some people, it was actually through an abuse.
Yeah.
And that's another thing we need to factor in. A young girl who's been abused, a young boy who's been abused. And this is the fact. You're no longer just a virgin like that. Whether it was stolen from you or you gave it away, whatever stage you're in, Prophetess Moi says, conserve your energy. Let me have you now as we make a wrap.
Yeah, I would encourage people to be celibate and stick to one person, because I mean, what do you gain by moving all around? Are you a billboard?
Oh, woo!
Oh yes, one marble. Yes, we caught that. Last week we caught one. I think Sheffield would be a talking point on this program.
Do you remember last week?
For such a long period of time.
Oh, really?
And I am concluding with Sheffield's word on marble last week when he said, if you love your wife, marry one woman.
If you
But if you love yourself, marry two or more.
Oh Lord.
Ladies and gentlemen, wow, yeah. Now we can debate that, but that's not the purpose of this conversation. We've talked about and asked the question and interrogated if this generation actually considers celibacy a worthy virtue. Well, I believe the conversation continues in the comment section, and of course we may bring it back in the future to be able to deal with this very appropriately. It's been a wonderful show here on the lounge this evening. I will believe that you have enjoyed every part of it. Once again, a big thank you to Amarachi for stopping by on the lounge, and of course Israel Michael. Thank you.
The minister.
And we learned a lot from Minister Israel Michael, the advocate of stay celibate. And indeed from my co-host Moi and I, it is goodbyes and see you next week.
I'm not going to propose to a guy ever.
And tomorrow, why do you live Henry?
Are you in Lagos?
I want to get
Nigeria. How will you not feel attached after sex?
It's like, no.
About every parent becomes the police in the lives of their kids.
Proposing is not like me. I will just come direct like you guys do and open one ring. never reach me, will marry me.
That's like you popping question.
There was a communication, something happened. So there's something like accidental
I'm
pregnancy.
working more than 12 hours because I'm going to wake earlier than him to take care of the children.
Do you know you are naturally, supernaturally built that way?
Yeah,
Do you know? Do you know?
Imagine what
God has divinely made you like that.
Imagine.